Okay, we are now recording.
All right. Well, everybody who's watching this with Raider Token, and we're just going to be discussing what they're all about. They're brand new. They've had a lot of success early on, and I'm pretty excited about them. Talked to them once before and a little bit through some text chat here and there, but we want to bring their message out to the masses because this is a very, very exciting project. Well, community as well. So I'll give it up to Lags. Introduce yourself to tell about your relationship to Raider Token.
Thanks very much. Okay, so I was the first sort of person who came up with the idea of Raider Token, and along with GME, well, who's in this chat as well. It was all after a rug pull. We're victims of the Earn Hub rug pull, where we all lost a lot of money. And we decided we wanted to keep the community together, and the best way to do that was to create a token. And at first, we were just going to try and sort of create a replica of EarnHub token, but we got thinking about it a bit more, and we decided we wanted to do something promote safety in this. Um, and so we decided to create a simple reflection token with a very low tax system, which is completely renounced. So the project's done. No more developments will be happening to the token, so we don't have to. So we're not going to, introduce some kind of development, leads to an exploit. The token is done, um, and we decided to have it as a 1% tax, so you can day trade it, and this would support the ecosystem forever. Because you're going to have long-term holders, the token, and you're going to have day traders, and they're going to be supporting each other. So you're going to have long-term holders holding, gaining the 1% reflections, which all of the reflections go to the holders as reflected in RAID token itself. And as the long-term holders are building up their bags, you've got day traders who are trading it to get a 2 to 3% profit because they are able to with the low taxes, because they're only subject to a 3% price increase from their purchase price, and then they're 1% up. So this token is viable for day trading, and that will support long-term holders with reflection, and long-term holders will sell to create entry points for day traders who will then buy in, price will go up again. So we decided we wanted to create a forever sustainable ecosystem, and that is what we came up with. And that is what we launched on the 6th of May, on the 6th of March, sorry. And we had a bit of a few minor technical errors, but these were resolved at launch. And we had a bit of sideways trading whilst people tried to determine, what we were all about. And then all of a sudden on the 15th, we got a huge boost of support, and we went up to our all-time highs at a 10x. And we're having a little bit of a dip now, but it's getting brought up pretty quickly, and that's where we are now in terms of token. In terms of what we wanted to create, we wanted to create a community rather than a specific token. We, we we thought the token is only a part of the project, and the community, when with EarnHub, we noticed that the community was everything. Um, the, the token EarnHub would have completely failed if it wasn't for the community. And so we created this project with the emphasis around the community instead of the token. And what's that done is because the contracts are announced, we don't have any white paper or any central plan. So everyone has brought into the token is doing so and is supporting the token by their own specialities. So we've got WCM, who's really good on Reddit, and he's putting up Reddit posts for us to other every day. We've got P, who's really producing a lot of really great art for us that we're using to chill. We've got Yoda, and who's going to be jumping into Telegram, uh, not Telegrams, Twitter conversation, and just start talking about our token. We've got specialized. We've got people who are experienced with Twitter. We've got someone who was from the Earn Hub community who's got 133k followers, who's on board with us. We've got our own Twitter group, Raid Nation. So we're developing that. We're developing Facebook groups. We've got a bunch of up and coming YouTubers. We have our platforms growing across social media. So we're going to be on everything. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, absolutely everything we're getting on, and we're building our presence on those. And that's where we are now in terms of the community. And I think that's what saw the massive pump that we had just now. Because everyone's like specialized and working on their own stuff. We've got people producing good infographics, and everyone's doing it off their own back, and everyone's doing what they know how to do, and so much work is getting done, and it's getting done so fast. And the community has only just started to be created. So we're not even at 300 holders yet. So as the community grows, the amount of work that is being created is going to increase exponentially. And so our online presence will increase exponentially. And so that's what's going on with community. And the purpose of the token is to give people an entry point into this space to prevent people from getting scammed. So we want to target ideally people new to DeFi, and to give them a helping hand, an instruction to them of just to let them know what is scams, what to look out for, because we forget how weird this space is, how abnormal this space is. And you have to, people who are getting into DeFi need to learn a new lexicon effectively, and really sort of understand things that and they realistically need help to do that. And that's what we want to be. We want to be that entry point. We're looking at listing, we're looking at like our own listing and vetting services on the website. We've got our community members doing NFTs and art for a marketplace. We're looking at our own DApp. There's lots we're looking at doing as a community, and everyone is doing what they're specialized in. And I think that's why this community is absolutely going to grow really quick and in the right direction, really well. And now that is who we are, and that is our project.
That is a lot to unpack. That is some really good stuff as well. I was just writing down a question, building it up for what goal, all these different social media platforms, and if there's no white paper, if there's no charitable thing that's already in the books, that's the goal. Where are we going with this? And then you said the entry point into DeFi space, and that is about one of the most charitable things that I can think of, because it's so scary for new people, and new people make mistakes that cost them big time. And I think that is hugely important.
It is.
DeFi,
It definitely is. I mean, like everything, like ever since we started this Raider token, it's been really opening our eyes, and we've been having conversations. Scammed us. They weren't no regular, rug pull people. There were some serious big people doing some big stuff behind the scenes, like billions worth, and them, doxxed and everything and all that stuff. A lot of eyebrows were raised, and like how far the rabbit hole rabbit hole goes. And the conversation I had was like, these scams are so rampant. Having conversation with a group of people, we're like, the U.S. government can be behind these scams, so they can come in and try to regulate and make some force changes. There's a lot of things that have been very eye opening since doing this whole Raider token with the community. There's a lot of things that have been unmasked, and seeing who people are who they really are, and it's been very wild, the things that have been brought up to the attention.
Yeah, I second that. What we've learned is how this space is quite scary. I mean, if you go on Pink Sale now, 9 out of 10 of those projects are going to be scams.
Oh wow!
And that's something that needs to change. And things that you don't think are scams. Like you very well could have been in a project that is losing a tremendous amount of value, and you just think that's standard. That's just how the investment's going, but in reality, it's been slow run. There's so many of these things that are happening, and something needs to be done about it.
I mean,
Well,
that's
I'm glad
that's
that
why
you guys for sure.
that's why that was important for the token to be renounced and the liquidity pool locked for 80 years. Originally, the liquidity pool was supposed to be locked for 1,000 years, but the programming part, it couldn't register the calendar at all, so we had to reduce it back to like 80 years. So the liquidity pool is locked for 80 years, and the token is renounced, locked forever. And that's what the community and people need, is to look at the code themselves and be like, they need hard facts and transparency immediately. They don't need some being dragged down the road over and over again. Oh, we have problems, we're going to go do something else. Oh, we have problems, we're going to go fix this.
Yeah, what we found in our research is there's only two things that matter, and that the contract being renounced and the liquidity being locked. For the two reasons why I say that is with you being doxed as a security measure, but what I've learned is, how easy it is to get around a dox. I can quantify it for you exactly how easy it is to get around a dox. It's exactly easy to get around a dox as it is to get a fake driving. So however difficult it is for you to get a fake driving license, that's how easy it is for you to fake a dox. There's nothing more to it. And
100%.
yeah,
Well, go ahead.
So the only thing so the contract has to be renounced, really. We shouldn't be buying unfinished product. I don't know why we do it. It's like going to a car showroom, and buying a car without an engine, with the promise that the engineer is going to come and put an engine in it in the future, and there's no time scale in which he's going to do that, and you've already given him the money, and he's under no legal obligation to do so. I think we need to move away from that space, and we need to start investing in projects that are complete at launch and renounced. And liquidity needs to be locked, because even if you start off with good intentions, you can be subject to human just desires of greed. When all of a sudden that LP goes from being a 200 BNB to a 2,000 BNB, and you're looking at $1 million there, or it doesn't matter how good your intentions were when you started off, you are going to be tempted to steal that. So that's the standard we wanted to make with the LP lot for 1,000 years. but unfortunately the calendar only went up to the year 2100. But that's what we that's the idea that we want to have with the safety token.
All really, really good points. And I just want to say welcome to the Greek DeFi Guru. What a great guy, super active in the DeFi space. Much love to Greek. Thanks for coming, man. I did want to ask, so Lags, you wrote a certain amount of this code. I'm interested, if DeFi Vader, if you were actually part of that. Did you write any code? What, between the two of you, and GME also, you're involved in the project. What exactly would you say prior to the announcement and the launch and this thing going, was each of your exact roles, and to what degree? I think everybody would find that really interesting. We'd start with DeFi, and then go GME, then go to Legs.
For me, I had nothing to do to write the code, but I'm a realist and basically the very strong voice of the community. The thing that Earn Hub did to us is they caused a lot of pain, and you know, and what they did, it wasn't a normal rug pull. It was the most insane narcissistic thing. They dragged a lot of people down. Like there was they made a lot of friends with a lot of projects. They made a lot of friends like personally, like Crypto Moonboy and all these other people, and the way that they manipulated and betrayed all of us. I stood up, and I've been very voiced in my opinions, and I have a very strong vision. I've been in the video game industry for like 20 years, and I have a very strong vision. So I guess you can say that I'm like the CFO in a sense. But like the great thing about Raider Token is that, like, if the people, like, if I like, for me, if my voice opinions like get bad in the community, or if I'm like not transparent or whatever, I can get replaced, and that goes for all of us. Like the Raider Token, it's kind of has that natural leadership system going on. But if the community, like, there's the transparency not there, everyone in the community's mad, everything, there's like, and that person's not getting anything done or not talking to nobody, that person gets removed. We're not doing that hierarchy thing where one person just stays there to the very, very end. So if my performance, and if I'm not really doing what I need to do, I get removed, and then someone else can replace me, and that's how that's the way I would like to see it, because we all have different visions. But so I guess you can say that I'm the CFO, basically.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I thought you had written some code. I think that was just something that I put in my own head. Obviously, I don't think
Right.
you've ever said that you did, but good, man. Good. Here's one question before we move on to GME. Isn't it more of a just kind of a natural selection? Because when you say removed, but it's all community based, wouldn't it just be more like community would just kind of stop listening to you and look to somebody else and kind of elevate them and bring more attention to them, and kind of rally behind their ideas, and so they would, whoever wasn't really pulling their weight, not
Yeah.
necessarily removed, just kind of left behind.
No. You said it. You said it the best. Sorry, I was just thinking like Earn Hub, and there, because what Earn Hub did, they had like this hierarchy thing, and then like they were telling people like winners and losers. So when I started talking about Earn Hub and stuff like that, like what they did and how the hierarchy, they're like, oh, I'm all high and mighty, but you said it the best, Sergeant Antonio.
All right, great, awesome, man. GME, tell us about your relationship with the project.
Hey, man. Thanks for having us. Thanks for having me. Hope you're doing well. Um, so, as far as my involvement, well, first to answer your question a little bit about what would keep the community from going. Our base of support is the Earn Hub community. We've got quite a few investors that came over from Earn Hub. They know me, they know Lags, they know DeFi Vader. So there's kind of a natural element there where the community, is doing a really good job of understanding, who the community leaders are. But, of course, we're going to get a lot bigger down the road, right? What we think is going to happen is that we're going to blow up and we're going to be huge. And so now we're going to have millions of investors that are now part of this community. So I can see, why you would pose that question. But it kind of boils down to right now, we do have our socials in place. Lags controls the website. He set up the website, so he controls that. I have the Twitter account and the Telegram. Lags has the Reddit, and so it would be very, 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 very difficult for the community to waver outside of that direction, the direction set forth by the community leaders. And I can speak for myself. I'm not going anywhere until this thing either reaches the level of Bitcoin or goes into the ground. Bottom line. So, and I don't think these gentlemen are going anywhere either. We've all been together for quite a while. So yes, that's probably going to keep the ship headed in the same direction. As far as my involvement, so Raider Token is kind of a spinoff of what we were already doing. So when we were with Earn Hub, we were called the Earn Raiders, and that was something that myself and Lags came up with. We headed that up. We took the community on these raids, and at one point, I mean, we literally trended Earn Hub on Twitter, and I think we had 30, maybe 40 people participating in it. So that goes to show you what Raider Token can become when we've got, thousands and thousands or millions of people participating in these raids. So my involvement goes back to, when we were raiding under Earn Hub, and that was kind of the inspiration for this name, Raider Token. It comes from that. And I was involved with, some of the design aspects of the token, the marketing strategy of the token. So that's kind of where I came from in this. So yeah, I think that's about it as far as my involvement.
Thanks, man. And I'm glad you brought that up because I think somebody else that's probably been in the space longer than me would have thought of that as, I was mentioning, well, the community will just kind of go away from one and start lifting up another. But yeah, the socials who created the account, if they get butthurt, right, they can just stop utilizing it. They could delete it, something like that. So it's good to get to know you guys and feel your passion and know that you're in this for the long haul.
Yeah, most definitely. I won't be going anywhere ever. So, and I'll never sell my full bag. So,
very cool.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ever.
Yeah.
We in this.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Go ahead.
So,
No, go ahead. If you have something to add.
Sorry.
So for the longevity, for a long term, eventually, we've been noticing this token's getting very, very big, and we're always evolving, we're always adapting, and there's so many things that have happened for the last few days. We can't vet I guess. But someone made a staking pool, another major project. This is how far EarnHub has burned bridges with a lot of people. And one of the projects that they burned, EarnPay, they created a staking pool, and we do not endorse. We wanted to stay away from the staking pool and all that stuff, but the ecosystem, if we like it or not, people will always create a ecosystem on our Raider token platform. And that same goes for exchanges when they list our token, and the far beyond on people's D apps. That was when they created that staking pool. We had a conversation about it's like people can create these ecosystems whenever they want, and everyone has their own passion and development. So that's the great thing about this token, because everyone has been their own developer and chasing their dreams, and that's the most beautiful thing, and I've seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah, that is super cool, man. So, Lags, where we've heard quite a bit from you early. Tell us kind of exactly like how much of the coding and all that stuff that you did, and what would your position be in the company if you gave it one?
Well, in terms of the coding, this token was created entirely on a platform called CoinTool app. All our token information is listed in our Discord, including the audit from CoinTool and the whole source code itself. So anyone can review it and see exactly what has been made. In terms of where I see myself in the company, I don't really see it as a company. I see it as a collective. So I would say I'm just part of the collective. I do have a lot of the access to social media, but what I've done is I've created a Raider token Gmail account, and that will be given to a certain number of people. So if one of us goes, the access to the social media is not gone. It will always remain with the Earn Hub, or not the Earn Hub, sorry, the Raider token community. And I honestly don't want to see us in positions. I personally want to see us in roles. So what I sort of focusing on is starting the YouTube channel and managing the YouTube channel, and that's sort of where I want my focus to be. And I would like it if other people sort of adapted platforms that they know. So someone who's really good on Reddit, let's get them doing Reddit. That's what I want to see from this project.
Fantastic. Greek, you got any questions, man? I don't want to leave you out. He's probably away right now. So
I actually have a lot to compact. Like once the questions and stuff like that, I have a lot to compact the future and the stuff that we've been talking about, and the things, because a lot has progressed in the last few days, and it's so awesome. It's just awesome seeing everyone's dreams. So I have like basically everyone's dreams. I wrote it down and stuff, so I want to share that with everybody.
Go.
So eventually, when this token gets really, really big, it's a matter of time. But once we all get big, we all talked about creating our own blockchain in the very, very far future, which will be Raid Nation or Raider token. But with all of us put together, once the token, once we progress and we all keep getting better and better and better, we're all talking about pulling in a blockchain to pool, and we want the same effect with the blockchain as the token is. We want the blockchain locked and renounced, but the problem with locking the blockchain is that if you renounce the blockchain and issues happen, like every project, every livelihood, like if you're looking at like Ethereum, if Ethereum was locked and big major issues has happened with Ethereum, like years down the road, where they had to go in and fix some things. So to do that with the blockchain, to keep it safe and renounced, we would have to have like a corporation headquarters, a huge corporation headquarters like Activision or like Riot Games or like these big studio companies where they have a huge major corporation. This is very far in the future. But if we're going to create our own blockchain, that would be one way. That would have to be where it would have to be in a huge, massive building. Like if you ever seen an Intel building, they have it like a huge headquarters ordeal. So if there's any super major roadmap thing, the blockchain will go straight for the heart. I mean, I think that's what everyone has been saying in the community is just the blockchain. It's just been blockchain over and over and over again, and that is the heart and direction. But this is like far in the future, like in years or whenever that day happens.
So I was just thinking a little bit ago, and I'm glad the question didn't leave my head, but can you set up, and again, I'm not a super techie guy, can you set up different socials that actually have multiple people in control? Like not one person can delete the account without the consent of, say, one other person or two other people. And let's start there. Is that even a thing?
A way we could do that is, well, we could do it with two people. We could just have a two-factor authentication system and give the phone number or other email to another individual. We could do that.
I mean, that might be, it might not be perfect, but I think it could be better. Give a little bit more comfort to people. Like, well, if this one person freaks out, there's this other person that can keep us together. So I don't know, just a thought.
Yeah, I'll think of how we could manage social media. I mean, it's all on a specifically made Google account, Google Gmail, and everything. So it could be achievable, and we could secure it somehow.
And then the other side of that I was thinking was kind of like a smart contract. I don't know exactly how DAOs work. It kind of feels, in my very minimal knowledge of them, that this Raider token is almost going to be acting like a DAO. And if you could do a smart contract in some way of if A, then B, if B, then C, if C, then D, perhaps some kind of voting system could be another kind of lock and key for some of those things that some people might worry about.
We could do that very easy. That's just a little D app that will read our wallets, how many tokens we've got circulating supply. But that could be done quite easily.
Very cool. Hey, want to welcome Xwer. What's up, buddy? I don't see that your mic's muted. You hear? It's muted. All right, so Xword just got here. Greek, I don't know if you are listening in. do we have any questions about this project? And we might have already covered them, and that's totally okay. Whatever's on your mind, please ask. It's all good. Expert or Greek, get you a chance to ask a question here real quick. All right, no questions as of yet.
This is being recorded, so you can view it back later if you so.
Yeah, it's good call on that. So DeFi, GME, lags. What else would you like to add? Something maybe that you're the most excited about personally?
I think personally.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. You go, DeFi. You.
Oh no, you're good. People being very relieved. It's been nonstop. Everyone that's been in the token and that has bought in the token, once they bought in the token, and the few days that they've been in it, they've just been very relieved. That's all that keeps happening is that people are being relieved every day that this token it feels so good to everybody. It's anyone that you talk to, it's just a fresh breath air from this crazy chaotic space in crypto. And especially, since we're on the Binance Smart Chain, we're in the heart and soul of all these problems. So, everyone, the way that everyone's been talking and how happy everyone is, you cannot replace that. That's the most beautiful thing that we needed in this DeFi space.
Very cool. Hey, Meta Captain, thanks so much for coming, man. You came to the first one and you had some fantastic questions. I don't know if you had time to, I think you said you were going to kind of look into the contract, and I know you're super busy and you're deving on like 26 projects, brother. But did you look into anything? Did you have any additional questions? The chart's kind of going crazy. There's a little bit of a dip. It's getting eaten up, but right now everything is
I can
great.
say this. I'll say this much. I bought last time we talked just to support the project, and it's performed well, so I've been happy with it.
You bought right after we had that. I was going to, and I procrastinated, and then I couldn't figure out why I couldn't buy. It was because my idiotic butt was not switching it from Ethereum to BSC, and I finally got it figured out, but not until after I would have.
Dude, don't feel bad because we're in the project, but we it was even too fast for us. Like we had FOMO. We're like, wait, give us a week. Give us a week to get in.
Yeah, I just have beans set around for moments like that. So anytime, I hear about something, and it was early enough that I was willing to just be like, "Oh, why not?" So, and it's performed well. I haven't had a chance to look over the contract, but from what I understand about the general dynamics of it, there's not too much general risk involved as far as funds allocated and stuff like that. So they're really at a baseline level, fairly low risk as far as whether or not you're going to lose your investment versus it just being devalued due to market.
That is such a great way to explain it too, man. Yeah, in this kind of space, it feels very, very low risk. Like it's not going to be completely rug pulled because the contract's renounced. So it might lose value because less people are trading, but it's not like you're going to lose it all. And that's very unique.
It's not like there's some dev team that's spending money on questionable things either. You always have that aspect, no matter what team it is or anything. Let's go with a staple like SafeMoon. Do any of us know what they really spend their money on? No, of course not. So it's to some level, you're just kind of trusting it, and this is a really good example of something that you don't have to necessarily have that trust. You just need to have trust in whether or not the community behind the project is still behind the project.
100%.
Yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool. I actually just got out of another AMA for Shield Coin. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. I'm going to take a moment to plug it because it is a great, great little idea. It's a crypto assurance company, and essentially you buy a certain amount of tokens and they cover certain projects. Right now, I think they're covering 200 listed projects, and they're quickly expanding like every 2 weeks to add more and more and more projects. But it's just like a cool way of like mitigating your risk across different trading platforms.
Man, yeah, that definitely just shows there's a big shift dynamic of like like there's always balance, and the scam runs that are going on are not going to last forever. Things are changing. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's really weird because now the scams have shifted. Obviously, it's like you watch everything kind of shift and migrate in the space, and last year the meta was definitely just general reflection tokens. Anything that reflects in itself, let's just launch it and call it whatever we want, and we're gonna rug it. And then shortly after that, it was BUSD reflections, no rugging though. We'll just hold all the supply in one wallet and we'll just take all those BUSD reflections and we'll run off with that and we'll never produce anything. And then shortly after that, now you're getting into like these crazy APY scams, these different yield projects from virtual nodes, fake nodes, different things like that. And then they put so many smoke and mirrors around it that the investor thinks, oh, this is so complicated, it must be smart. No, it's just dumb. It's just dumb stuff. And you see it where any real project that's like involved in that space that stays around for a little bit of time, they immediately actually try to clean up everything. They start launching version 2s, they start lowering all their rates of return. It ends up becoming a sustainable project in time, but that's only because it's forced to due to market conditions and they still want to have jobs, but they start it as a Ponzi or as a scam. That's clearly what it is. And you've seen this grossly populate the space in the last 2 months, and it's wild because now it's starting to like shake out, and so many of these projects are calling it quits. They're running away. They're taking the money and leaving, and people are getting hurt really bad.
Yeah, that is awful. And I wanted to pop in here real quick. We've got the Affinity AMA at 8:30 Eastern, which is in 7 minutes. I don't want to take anybody away from that. So we've got probably about 5 minutes. We'll give everybody about 2 minutes to get out of here and go find that AMA if they want to go. So any last thoughts from the team? And Greek, Exwer, if you have any questions, now would be the time to ask.
Yeah, the last parting thought. Just to kind of answer your question from earlier about what I'm most excited about. I think I'm most excited about the potential of this token. Everybody's wrapped around Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And they've got their reasons. Bitcoin is the granddaddy of them all. It's the first one. Big institutional investors are pouring money into Bitcoin. Governments are pouring money into Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is no longer the coin of the little man. It's not. And that's what people need to realize. Bitcoin is not the people's coin anymore. And we can talk about decentralization all day long. But at the end of the day, legislators can wipe out Bitcoin in one meeting. And I hope that's what people understand. And, with the calamities that we have going on in the world, we've got coronavirus, we've got World War III that could potentially be raging. We've got, all these things. And we don't know how long of a shelf life crypto freedom has. We don't know that. So what if we could take Raider token and make it Bitcoin V2, and let's band together and have one more special run for the little man. I mean, this is a better token than it's a better coin/token than Bitcoin is. Bitcoin doesn't reflect a 1% reflection. Oh, by the way, the 1% reflection is actually 5 times because of the burn. The burn wallet's excluded. What if
There's
we
no
could do
developer
this?
wallets either.
Yeah, and there's no. I mean, what if we could do this? What if we could rally around this simple little token, this grassroots token, this token of the people, and let's make a ton of little people millionaires? Because how long do we really have? How many more 1,000 time tokens are going to exist before governments crack down? We don't know. This could be the last Bitcoin. We could do this. That's what I'm most excited about.
Amen. Speak it, brother. That was awesome, man. That was awesome.
That's the loftiest goals I've heard all day. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You know how we are, man. We got some strong voices, man. Like, oh my god, like like on blockchain and having a corporation HQ like Intel, like a base. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a human history you guys are witnessing. Like this is not the thing that EarnHub did, the pain and suffering that they did, because you can listen to our voices on the day of the hack on the EarnHub. You can hear our misery and our pain that we went through. We are so fired up to make a positive change in the space. It's crazy. All of us together. And every single person that's in this Raider token is like a big leader boss in their own development mind. Everyone's chasing their dreams. Everyone is grasping their dreams and they're getting their dreams done. One of the projects that got burned from EarnHub because they made a lot of friends, they created their own staking pool because their community was fired up. They wanted the Raider token in their staking pool. And even though we can't vet it because we want to stay away from the staking pools, but it just shows you how the passion of the people is. That's the number one thing. That's for me.
Very
Lags, you got the last word, my friend.
First of all, I just want to second those and GME. That was very well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. I think what I'm most excited for is seeing 10,000 plus holders right now, and if we can do what we're doing now with the amount of holders and people in the project we've got now, well, when we've got 10,000, what is it going to be like? And because if we have 10,000 holders, let's say 1,000 of them are active on Twitter one night, what is that going to be? That is going to be something very special. We can get trended on Twitter whenever we want. We could go on any website and instantly be trended on it, and the power behind that is huge, and that's what I'm really excited for. If that's why I'm excited for seeing lots and lots of raiders all together, all promoting their product. That's what I'm excited for.
Man, awesome. I cannot wait to see this go up on YouTube. I can't wait to share it with people. We've got about 1 minute to get out of here and get to Affinity AMA. I just want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks so much. Really good stuff, man. Really good stuff, and I'm super excited. So with that, guys, we're going to get bailing out of here.
I appreciate you, Sergeant Antonio. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you guys soon.